Have you ever stood in your kitchen looking at a bowl of fresh fruit and wondered, could something this simple really make a difference? Well, my friend, today we're going to talk about just that. Because what if I told you that some of the most ordinary fruit sitting in your fridge right now are actually extraordinary warriors in the fight against cancer? Now, I know what you might be thinking. At my age, shouldn't I just focus on enjoying life and not worry about all this? But here's the thing. Staying healthy isn't about giving up life's pleasures. It's about adding more of the good stuff so you can keep doing what you love longer. And when it comes to cancer prevention, nature has given us some powerful tools. Tools that are delicious, easy to find, and probably already part of your grocery list. Today, we're going to uncover the first 2 fruits on our list of 6 that science says cancer cells really don't like. And trust me, you're going to want to keep these in your pantry. Let's start with a little blue powerhouse you've likely known for years, the blueberry. Now, these aren't just for pancakes or muffins. Blueberries are packed with something called anthocyanins. Big word, I know, but all you need to remember is this. They're like tiny bodyguards for your cells. Studies show these compounds can slow the growth of cancer cells and even reduce inflammation, which is a big deal as we get older. Here's how my neighbor Martha uses them. She tosses a handful into her morning oatmeal or blends them into a smoothie with Greek yogurt. Tastes like dessert, she says, but feels like medicine. And the best part? Frozen blueberries work just as well. No need to fuss with fresh if that's easier. Now, let's talk about a fruit that's probably sitting on your counter right now. The humble apple. You've heard the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, there's more truth to that than we realized. Apples are rich in quercetin, a natural compound that's been shown to help block the signals cancer cells use to grow and spread. But here's the kicker. Don't peel them. The skin holds most of those good-for-you nutrients. My grandson loves sliced apples with a dab of peanut butter, and I'll tell you, it's a snack that keeps both of us coming back for more. Now, I know change can feel overwhelming, especially if you've been set in your ways for years. But think of it this way. Adding a few blueberries to your cereal or biting into a crisp apple isn't a chore. It's a small, joyful step toward taking charge of your health. And the science backs it up. So, what do you say? Ready to give these everyday heroes a starring role in your meals? I've got a feeling your taste buds and your body will thank you. And you know what? This is just the beginning. There are more fruits waiting in the wings, each with their own unique way of keeping you strong. So, let's keep this conversation going. After all, the best part of aging is realizing how much power we still have to shape our health, one delicious bite at a time. You know, it's funny. Sometimes the things we've enjoyed for decades turn out to be our greatest allies. Take that glass of orange juice you might sip with breakfast. Turns out it's not just a morning ritual. It's a quiet act of rebellion against something far more serious. Let's talk about our next fruit, the orange. Now, I'm not just talking about the juice, though that's a great start. Oranges are bursting with vitamin C, sure, but they've also got these compounds called limonoids. Fancy name? Simple job. Research shows they can help stop cancer cells from growing, especially in places like the stomach and lungs. But here's my tip. Eat the whole fruit, the pulp and those little white bits you might pick off, they're packed with fiber and extra nutrients. My husband Jim used to peel every last bit of pith off his oranges until his doctor told him he was tossing out the good stuff. Now he slices them like apples, skin and all, and dips them in a dark chocolate for a treat. Feels like I'm cheating, he laughs. Now let's move on to a fruit that's practically synonymous with celebration. Grapes. Not just any grapes, though. I'm talking about the deep, dark red ones. These little guys are loaded with resveratrol, the same compound you've probably heard about in red wine. And here's why it matters. Resveratrol doesn't just slow down cancer cells, it can actually help repair damaged DNA. But let's keep it simple. You don't need a fancy wine cellar. My friend Edna buys seedless red grapes by the bunch, washes them, and pops them in the freezer. Instant antioxidant popsicles, she calls them. Me? I toss them into chicken salad for a sweet crunch. The key is to eat the skins. That's where most of the resveratrol hides. Now, I'll admit, when I first heard all this, I thought, do I really need to overhaul my whole diet? But here's the beauty of it. You're not being asked to give up your favorites. You're just adding a few more friends to the party. A handful of grapes here, a juicy orange there. It's about stacking the deck in your favor, one small choice at a time. And let's not forget the bigger picture. Every bite of these fruits is like sending a love letter to your body, a way of saying, I'm worth taking care of. Because here's the truth. Age isn't a limitation, it's wisdom. Wisdom to know that the best things in life are often the simplest. So what do you think? Ready to let oranges and grapes take center stage in your kitchen? Trust me, your body knows how to put these gifts from nature to good use. And here's the thing, we're just getting warmed up. There are still 2 more fruits on our list that'll make you look at your next trip to the grocery store in a whole new light. But for now, why not pour yourself a glass of fresh squeezed OJ or munch on some frozen grapes? After all, taking care of yourself should always feel this good. You know, there's something deeply comforting about realizing that some of life's greatest gifts come wrapped in the simplest packages. Like this pomegranate here, tough on the outside, but bursting with jewels inside. And this tomato? Well, let's just say it's proof that miracles come in all shapes, even if they're technically a fruit pretending to be a vegetable. Let's dive into our 5th fruit, the pomegranate. Now, I'll admit, these can seem a bit intimidating, all those seeds. But let me tell you, those little rubies are worth the effort. Pomegranates are loaded with ellagic acid, a natural compound that's been shown to slow the growth of cancer cells and even help your body repair itself. Here's a trick I learned from my sister-in-law, Gloria. Slice the pomegranate in half, hold it over a bowl of water, and tap the back with a spoon. The seeds fall right out, and the water keeps the juice from splattering. She sprinkles them on salads or mixes them into quinoa. Makes me feel fancy, she says, and my oncologist approves. Now, let's talk about our 6th and final fruit, tomatoes. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Aren't those a vegetable? Botanically, they're fruits, and they're here to save the day. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a powerhouse antioxidant that's been linked to lower risks of prostate, lung, and stomach cancers. But here's the catch. Cooked tomatoes are even better. Heat breaks down the cell walls, releasing more lycopene. That's why my grandson and I make big batches of homemade marinara sauce together. He calls it superhero soup. And honestly, he's not wrong. If you're not into cooking, no worries. Even a can of low-sodium tomato soup counts. Now, I want to pause here and say something important. You don't have to do it all. If peeling a pomegranate feels like a chore, buy the seeds prepackaged. If fresh tomatoes aren't in season, grab canned ones. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every bite, every sip, every small choice adds up. Think about it. Blueberries in your oatmeal, an apple with lunch, a glass of orange juice at breakfast, grapes as an afternoon snack, pomegranate seeds on your yogurt, and tomatoes in your dinner sauce. That's 6 delicious ways to tell cancer, not today. But here's what matters most. You're in the driver's seat. You get to decide what works for your life, your tastes, your routine. Maybe you'll start with one fruit this week, then add another next week. That's how my book club friend Irene did it. She swapped her afternoon cookies for frozen grapes and never looked back. So let's take a moment to celebrate. Celebrate the fact that you're here right now, choosing to learn, to grow, to invest in yourself. Because aging isn't about slowing down. It's about stepping into your power with every year that passes. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite way to enjoy these fruits? Have a recipe that's been in your family for years? Drop a comment below. We're all in this together, learning and sharing. And if this resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to make sure you never miss tips like these. After all, we've got a lot more to explore when it comes to living vibrantly, no matter our age. As I sign off today, I'll leave you with this. Life is a garden, and every seed of care you plant today blooms into a healthier, happier tomorrow. So here's to you, to your strength, your wisdom, and the incredible journey ahead. Keep shining, my friend.